How's it going, everybody? It's MrScaryMuffin, and I wanted to tell you guys about this awesome game called The Building Game by Mr. Seth the Bling Bling Seth. um, he made this awesome game called The Building Game, and basically it's kind of like Pictionary and Telephone combined together. You put a suggestion into a room, somebody builds it, somebody else guesses what they built, and then somebody else built based on their guess, and it continues onwards. It's a 7-player game. You'll probably see a couple of videos from myself and the Ground Fox and the BPS guys coming out in the upcoming days. We've been having lots and lots of fun with it, and it's been an amazing thing. But there has been a few minor issues with the game that we've had, so I thought I would make a updated version, a fan update, if you will, and I'll just go over the slight changes that I've made over that. The original game, of course, is by Sethbling, and I just did a couple of changes. First thing I did was I changed the anvil locations and I cleaned up the building areas. So originally the map had anvils along the sides here, and that's the same for over there and over there. And basically when you spawn there, you kind of get caught in the anvils a little bit, and that's a little bit annoying, so I got rid of that. I also removed a lot of the bling sorry Seth, in each of the building rooms, so the building rooms are a little bit cleaner to look at. Next things I did, I changed the lobby opt-in system, and I added signs for building names and changed paper to books. So let's go over those. You notice that I am player 0 now, and what normally happens when you first come in is that if you're a player 0, then you automatically get assigned a number, and once there's 7 people, then the game will start. We usually had more than 7 people waiting to start a game. Some of them were spectators, etc., and sometimes the game will start when we didn't want the game to start. So I changed it so that when you log in, you're not in the game until you step on the opt-in button. And it's basically just backwards of what Seth was doing before. When you step on the opt-in, it'll give you a score 1000, and then that will put you as player 1, 2, 3, or 4, 5, 6, or 7. And then when you opt out, it'll put you back at player 0 and remove you from the game. When you start building, there are signs here so that people can put your name, put their name on there and claim this build as their own. That way people don't have to ask who built what, all that kind of stuff. Even though it does list the players at the end, sometimes it does get a little bit confusing, so I did it that way so that people will know. And also, instead of getting a piece of paper like that to put your thing on, I now give people a book and quill. And what you can do with the book and quill is you can quickly sign it and then put your thing, whatever you want into that. And the book doesn't really matter, but if you want a longer description, you can always type in the book first. But that way, when you scroll over, it still does the same thing as paper, but it tells you who made the guess. That way we don't have to guess who did what guess. And I highly encourage you guys, when you guys put things inside, is to clone it and put several copies in there. And when you take copies out, also clone it and take those out. I think the last thing that I added are these little teleport buttons, which moves you from room to room and helps you helps the spectators at the end. Only spectators and players at the end of the game can use these buttons to teleport. And then when you reach all the way to the end, the button over here will teleport you to the first room in the next area. So it saves a lot of flying, saves a lot of traveling. It's relatively helpful for the end game when everybody wants to see what everybody else built really quickly. And I also added a teleport button at the very end. When you see your final thing, it'll bring it back to the lobby area. That way everyone can start over here as well. So those are the quick updates that I made. If you guys have been playing this and enjoying it as much as I have, you might like using this version. And if you have also other suggestions for things that you want to change, let me know in the comments below, and I will be getting on those. So thanks guys, I hope you guys enjoy, and thanks Sethbling for this amazing game. Ciao ciao!